We are on, and I am Papa Swoleo. Welcome to the Papa Swoleo train. Welcome to 415. Coming in one at a time, bust the board down.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Bust the door down, watching Swoleo. Just watch it. Come here so you can watch me gain live on Facebook. Welcome to episode 415 of the Daily Swole, everyone. I am your host, Papa Swoleo, the most muscular podcast, Swolecast, broadcast, livecast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Live every day at 12 noon Eastern time right here on Facebook. You can catch it on YouTube and listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Make sure if you're not subscribed to iTunes or you're not following me on SoundCloud, make sure you do so because that is on fire. And iTunes has every single episode. You could watch them. You could listen to them, but I'm so massive in your ear holes, it almost feels like you're watching me. You're watching me through your ears. This is a special episode because I am in not my garage, but there is a home gym here. There is a home gym, there's home equipment, and because it's Sunday fun day, and yesterday I was slamming some arms right here in the garage, I want to demonstrate to you. Yeah, exactly, Dean. I want to make sure I'm in the shred shed. I want to make sure that everyone understands that you can train at the gym, you can train at home. You are not limited to making gains just because you don't have a gym membership. Because a lot of you are watching me and you're messaging me like, "Hey, I'm out watching you from Bumblefuck, Kansas, and this, that, and the other." So make sure that you don't need a fancy gym membership. If you're embarrassed to be around other people, you can get stuff at home. If you have an inconvenient schedule, if you have kids, if you have a lot of home and obligations to in the house, you don't have to go somewhere. You don't have to go somewhere and spend the money for a membership, but you have to go somewhere and not be at home. Like, you could be on your lot and get shit done. So I'm going to show you some equipment that you would need. Like, it's easy to get a bench. There's things I'm going to show you in a second, but first off, it's Sunday fun day, and I may or may not go to the gym today. I've been crushing it all week. I think today is some kind of a leg day because I did arms yesterday. Not sure if I want to do legs here. I might. I may. I could. You know what? Maybe I should. Maybe I fucking should. Carrie, this is my fallout shelter. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the Daily Swole. I like to mix it up a little bit. I like to bounce around. Not always going to be in front of that chalkboard. So first off, what I want to get from all of you is a little feedback. Comment below if you work out at home or if you have trained at home and what your thoughts about training at home is, because I think it is a great method to add some variety. I think it's also a great method because it'll keep you consistent. There's no excuses. And it's not always the easiest thing to motivate oneself to work out at home, but that doesn't make it any less effective, because all you need to build muscle is to increase the overload and give your body stress. If you're giving your body the right kind of stress with resistance, with barbells, dumbbells, it doesn't matter if you're in Europe, it doesn't matter if you're in California, it doesn't matter if you're in Miami. If you're giving your body overload, your body's going to be forced to adapt. So it's that period and that adaptation process. So it is Sunday fun day. I got my coffee. Obviously, I have my gains. I hope you're gaining too. I just got done doing it at home for the past 2 years. There is a competitive factor. Yeah, let's take some questions. There is a competitive factor, John, at the gym, and that's important. That's important too. But you have to figure out, some people for that might be, you can compete with yourself. Like for me, I don't necessarily need that, but I love that. I was missing the competitive factor from the gym. I still go to the gym to work out. I save a lot of time not driving. That's true. Gas, like money and time, very convenient, but you do need more motivation to stay with it. I agree. One of those things with working out at home, and that's a great point, is that you need a lot of discipline. Because there's no one pushing you. If you go to the gym, so if you're watching and you drive to the gym, that drive to the gym, and I've done episodes on that psychological process of what you're thinking of and where your head's at en route to the gym. When you're on your way, you get your head in the game, you're going to the gym. Once you're there, you're gonna train, right? Once you're there, you're gonna train. You're not gonna be fucking around and like, oh, I'm not gonna work out anymore. You're going to the gym, you're gonna get it done because that's why you're going. When you're at home, you have a lot of excuses. You have a lot of room. You can go take a break. You can go to the bathroom whenever. Oh, I got a phone call, or oh, I just don't, you have all your other obligations that tend or have the ability to distract you. Right now, it's so gorgeous outside. It's so beautiful outside. It's so hot, so everyone's outside. People are like pressure washing and stuff. So I'm sure you could probably hear me pretty well. But I got some great lighting coming in. I feel like almost taking like the squat bar and just going out in the driveway and just fucking squatting for an hour. Lots of distractions at home. Keep your head down, turn up the tunes, and do work. Fuck yeah, man. And what I'm thinking about doing, actually, I got a bunch of ideas for some content. First off, I just want to announce on the show that it is getting towards the 4th of July, and I want to put it out there, kind of put it in the realm that there is a huge update coming for Swolenormous. There's a huge new release coming on 4th of July. So I'm very excited, and you just check your emails. I'm asking you guys a lot of questions, and I'm giving you guys a lot of exercise tips and feedback. So keep checking your emails so you can stay tuned with that. But premium, 90-day dash peeps, and Swolenormous Nation got a lot of big stuff coming. So I know a lot of you do your yoga at home, the live yoga classes that we offer here at Swolenormous, but you do have a lot of distractions. And I watch the news in the morning, no music. Yeah, you can play your own music, but if you put your earbuds in, you go to the gym, you can have your own music, wherever you are. But without further ado, let's talk about a couple things of the equipment. A lot of you need, a bench is always a good option. However, you can do presses from the floor, you do push-ups from the floor. A bench is great. It gives you a lot more versatility. You don't absolutely need a bench, but these things are cheap. So what I'm going to show you are just some things, and it's a very small area where all this exercise equipment is. And it's nothing fancy. You can have a whole area set up. This is a garage. There's other things, storage. There's a lot of like martial arts mats and things like that, punching bags, and other tools. But everything you need to get a sick pump is here. Everything you need to get a sick pump is here. I want to show you, it's not that expensive, because if you think about it, if you're training at home, you have the room for it. And what you're not spending money on is a monthly membership. So once you buy the weights, you're not eating them unless like you break them and smash them on the ground somehow. It's really hard to break weights. You're going to have them forever. So you're saving money in the long run. So it might be like, okay, I might have to spend a few $100 up front, but then you're not spending the monthly membership nor the time for gas and so forth. So, and here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you have a gym membership if you don't use it. So if you're spending $30 a month, but you never go, think about that. If you go twice a month, you're spending $15 every time you go to the gym. You go 10 times a month, you're spending $3. So it doesn't matter if your gym membership is $5 or your gym membership is $50. Stop thinking about how expensive it is. If you use it, you use it. If you spend my gym membership's $10 a month, but if you never use it, it's a fucking waste. The whole idea is you're using this as a tool to get results, to, get the effect, to, try to get your abs or build muscle and this, that, and the other. So let's check out some of the equipment here that you can use for your training. So as you're gonna see over here, this is a basic bench. This is also some kind of this is a squat. You see this is a standalone, okay? So let's come over here. This is a standalone rack. So you can put a big bar here. So what this would be is something that you can see is independent. So it's not connected to this. This is the bench, right? So you'll take the bench and you can put this anywhere. So this can stay here and be a rack for a bench press, or I can use this, and you can see as I flip it, if I were to rack off a squat. So it's a standalone, barbell that you can move and you can adjust. It could be like a bench for the bench, or you can use it for a squat release, which is really cool. So you can see how there's different, adjustments for fucking who knows what. I don't know everything that came with it, but this is something that you can move anywhere, and then you can use the bench and use that for like a bench press, but just make sure it's lined up properly and so forth. But you see, this doesn't take up much room. So if you picked up the bench, you put it against the wall, you could even move this and probably make this a little bit more compact, but there's just, big room right here. Boom, boom. And these things are not too expensive. Yeah, exactly, Paul. Fitness equipment on Craigslist and so forth. So first off, let me just get rid of this 415 there. All right, so let's check out some of the other stuff. Tripod, Papa Swole's gear. Some bumper plates. So bumper plates, you may be able to find these on Craigslist. What's great about bumper plates is, first off, you know, you got the 15s, or these are 10s. There's 15s here. These are 10s, they're thin. The great thing about bumper plates, and the reason why people use bumper plates, and it's like, well, why? You know, a lot of people think these are like fake plates because, oh, they're just trying to make them look like 45s. Not true. Bumper plates are the same size as 45 standard plates for a reason. So the bar is always at the same height when you're doing deadlifts. So that's important. And the great thing about rubber weights, I'm not sure about the pricing. They may be more expensive up front. But one of the important things to understand about bumper plates is that if you have a floor, if you have a hard concrete floor or even a wood floor, you can put down some mats and you won't put the weights through the fucking floor. So you can drop them. And if you're at home, you don't want to damage the floor. If you go to a gym, you have an industrial flooring, concrete, rubber matting, professional stuff. If you don't have all those things, bumper plates can save your floor. And if it's concrete, you don't want to be damaging your foundation, putting cracks in the floor. You should have pads anyway, like some kind of pads if you drop the weight, but you'll be able to slam the weight more. You know, you have a little bit more room for error if you have some bumper plates. So it's worth the extra money. And of course, you know, they get the same, you know, resistance as anyone else. So here's some other stuff. And this is just some things, some ideas, all right? So you got battle rope, which you can hook around anything. You don't have to have a battle rope, but that's super cool. They do a lot of self-defense and stuff. So these bats, baseball bats are relevant. But you see right here, got a barbell, full barbell. Then you also have an easy curl bar. Now you'll see that these are different. You see how this is like a spin? It's got threads, and this is just the standard barbell. So there's different kinds of weights. And a lot of you at home gyms, because you get smaller weights, you get these weights that spin on. Now, one of the most important things, and you see the weight tree, you got a few weights there. One of the most important things to understand about this, the threaded weight and the standard barbell, is that they're different. Because for the standard, you want clips. And for those, for like the dumbbells, you get dumbbells too. What's great about these is that you can have different bars. So you see how this weight or these plates here will fit on this. You can make dumbbells out of them, or you could use the same weights and use it for a bar. So you have the option. You don't have to. It's more versatile than using the big Olympic plates because you can't put those on a dumbbell. So it gives you some more variety where you can make barbells, or you can make dumbbells out of the same weights. The only issue is that there's a little bit of time. You gotta like put it on there and spin, put it on there and spin, and it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but if you're doing several exercises or sets in a row, it's fine, it's worth it. Another thing is about the, what was I gonna say? Barbell, you can get those, they're more expensive, but you can get the Bowflex weights, the adjustable ones where you just pull a pin out. So instead, the power blocks, right, exactly. So instead of having, you'll see here, fortunate enough to have 10, 15, 20, and 25, you can use those Bowflex power blocks and they go up to 50, you just pull a pin out and it's only one dumbbell. It's like automatically adjusted. However, the power blocks will run you like $400 or $500. So then you have the price concern. So it's up to you. It's what you can afford, what you want to afford, but having one pair of dumbbells that can go up to 50 pounds and stay in one spot and have like limited space. You don't need 10 different pairs of dumbbells. You can have one and get all of them. That's the benefit, is that you save space. So if you have more limited space, it could be worth for you to save up the extra money and get those power blocks. So yeah, and the thing is with power blocks and weights, that's the great thing about weights, is that people are always getting rid of them because they buy them and they don't fucking use them. They turn into clothing racks. Like, people don't use weights at home. They buy them, they think they will, and then they don't. And then they don't. And you know what's also cool is that you can have like a TV out here, play some music, play a movie, play like a workout DVD, play some Papa Swole, put some Swole on, put some of the put the 90-day dash on so you can get some great shit. And other things here like You can get, boxes for whatever you want. So look at how much space this takes up. It's not that much. You don't have to have the bags. You don't have to have like the pull-up bars and stuff, but you can. But look, you got one tree of weights. You got a few of those, which depends if you have the Bowflex. You got the 2 bars, which take up no space, right? You got the rope, which is optional, but you got the power plates. You got those weights. I mean, what else do you need? Like, you got 45s there, you got 35s, 25s, you got 200, 250. Like, how much are you doing at home? Like, I could throw that weight on, put it up here on the bar, and just do squats with 135. I mean, high volume squats, maybe I go 225. I mean, how heavy are you really gonna go? And understand that if you're doing like some serious home lifting, like super heavy weight, you gotta make sure you have proper support. So these supports here that I was showing you, for the weights, like, I wouldn't trust this. I wouldn't be racking like 315 on here because you don't want it to spin, because the base doesn't look, super, or put it against the wall, but it's good enough. It's not the kind of rack where you will like, boom, fall into if you're doing heavy weight. You'd probably want to put it in there gently, but it will hold it. You could also weight the bottom, put some sandbags on it, but when you're working at home, if you're making an option, if it's not, it depends on if you're making it all the time. It depends on if you're using this gym for what you're doing every single day, if you're using it once in a while. So it depends on how you're using your home gym, but these are all pieces of equipment that are very, very valuable. And you can get things like little mats and little rollout mats. You don't have to get your whole floor rubberized, but you can get little stands and little areas where the barbell will hit the ground, and just put 2 mats down. You don't have to spend $1,000 on mats. Usually I have 500 pounds in bumper plates, but for sure I never use all. But yeah, you don't use them all at one time. They have application. There you go. You have 500 pounds in bumper plates. Maybe you have a friend over and you're swapping them out. Massive stereo system. That'll get me in the garage to lift any time for sure. You don't get stuck under the weight at home alone either. That's another thing. When you're working at home, there's a risk factor. So if I'm at the gym, even if you're not getting a spot and you're just doing it by yourself, there are other people around. Like, you have like some kind of like a safety. But if you are at home, no one's spotting you. So you have to make sure that the weights that you're doing, that's why free weights are awesome. But that's why having the proper support. So if you can afford things like a squat cage with the racks and with the bars, those the power racks, like the support in case you drop the weight, the bar will stop, like the power bars, but those things are more expensive and they take up more space. So not everyone has the ability to do that. Just understand the safety factor, and also understand the fact that a gym membership, a home gym, it doesn't matter if you're not going to use it. If you don't use the membership, if you don't use the weights, it doesn't matter if you have 10 treadmills at home. Doesn't matter if you have all the weights in the world, like, oh, you have the greatest home gym on earth. If you don't fucking use it, it's worth dick. It's literally worth dick. You have to find the right situation for you that's gonna make you want to go to the gym. Because if you don't go, it's not worth it. If you don't go, it's not gonna do anything for you. So I don't care if you work at a home. I don't care. A lot of people in premium, a lot of you in premium that are watching, that are in premium, do the home gym thing, and that's great. And you have a lot of success with that. That's fine. Some of you, I can't work out at home. I'm not motivated. I will never get it done. Then don't work out at home. The most important thing is that you get it done. Okay? So just a little insight. Not that much equipment is needed to get sick pumps. A barbell is just very, very effective. You can do everything with a barbell. You don't need a ton of different dumbbells, a bar with some various weights, and maybe a bench. I mean, you can fucking get huge deadlifts, squats, press. You can do it all. You can absolutely do it all with just a bar. You can do every single muscle. You can get amazing results. You don't need every single option. But the more you have, the more tools you have, the more variety you can add, and then you can get some more creativity involved with your training. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 415 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I hope you enjoyed this special episode, a little home training, a little breakdown. If you have any questions or comments, if you do home training, drop a comment below. Let me know what you do, what you like about it, what equipment you find is better, and drop some comments and drop some positivity and some ideas for other people that might be watching this episode later on, because it's a beautiful day. I don't blame you if you're outside not watching Papa Swolio, but you better get your fucking swole fix later on. So drop some comments below here on Facebook, and give some feedback for those that might be looking to purchase a home gym. So if you're a home trainer, pop it below. Thanks for joining me every day at 12 noon Eastern time. Thanks for watching on YouTube and listening to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Big review alert. If you have not yet left me a review here on Facebook, please click the review section right here on my page and drop me a review. And if you listen to me on iTunes, please, if you have to do it on a computer, do it on a computer. Do me a favor, do me a solid. If you love the show, drop me a honest review on iTunes. It means the world to me. Love you guys. Peace, McGee's, Deuce Magoose. Get yoked today. Today is a fucking leg day. Pumping stems on a Sunday. Later, I will see everyone mañana for Monday. Monday motivation. Papa Swolio signing out.